Good morning, 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 good morning. Yeah, first of all, it's Kimberly's birthday. Happy birthday, Kimberly Robinson, today. This is our summer check-in. Of course, we have to come in today on the summer check-in. This is twice this week, though. I'm going to get back on vacation. So this is twice this week. We're going to get out of here for the 4th of July. But we're here now. We are checking in. As you know, we had a verdict yesterday on the Pookie trial. We're gonna call him Pookie. That's how we started. I'm gonna keep calling the man Pookie. So make sure you go to, and we're gonna talk more about it today. As you can see, I'm on summer vacation. I'm chilling. I'm vibing. But you know what? I'm coming in today to get it started. And let's play a little music and get the day going this morning. Let's go.
1, 2.
In lieu of all of the news out
Check
today.
me out right here.
Let's go, y'all. Come on.
You need to turn the track up a little bit. All up in my ears. The mic is loud, but the music is loud. Yeah. A lot of mic is low now. A lot of mics are low. My shit's all the way up. Yeah.
Good morning, y'all. How y'all feeling? I hate to keep saying I told you so. The more emails is always right. Y'all gonna have to start listening. Y'all gonna have to start listening. I'm building. Y'all, let's go. Let's go, y'all. Out in the building. Morning emails, all you males and females Monday. This is Mars and Venus, the one and only. Come on now. Black facts, all that today. Let's go. Happy birthday, Kimmy. It's Kim's birthday today. Let's get ready. Let's get it popping this morning. I'm in the building. Let's go. Right before Independence Day. Who's Independence Day? But mine. But anyway, we here now. Let's go, y'all. No hating. No hating this morning. No hating. No hating. You gotta let it ride. You gotta let it ride. You gotta let it ride. You can't hate this morning. Let's go. I'm to the building. Let's get it popping. Let's go, y'all.
It's been a long time. Been a long time coming.
Wow. What a day.
But you know,
they coming for all y'all.
Back now. This is what makes me. This is who I am.
You can hate me now,
QB,
but I won't stop now. Cause I can't stop now.
Brave heart.
You can hate me now,
Come on.
but I won't stop now. Cause I can't stop now. You can hate me now. You can hate me now.
Good morning. Let's go.
Do it now.
Twitter, Facebook Live. Let's go, y'all.
Don't hate me. The money I see, clothes that I buy, ice that I wear, clothes that I try. Close your eyes, picture me rolling sixes, money folding, chicken, honeys that swollen the riches. Knots get in ya, most critically acclaimed Pulitzer Prize winner, best storyteller, thug narrator. My style's great, my leader, big threat to a lot of you haters, commentators. Watching my paper, almost a decade, quite impressive. Most of the best is in the essence for this rap stuff that I stand for. Expanded more to the big screen, Bill Gates dreams. But it seems you rather see me in jail with state dreams. Want me off the scene fast, but things like your favorite MC, still making some mean cash. First rapper to bring a platinum plaque back to the projects, but you still wanna hate? Be my guest. I suggest. Do it now.
You can hate me now, but I won't stop.
All I know. I'm just tired of being right. That's all I'm saying. When I'm right, just go to YouTube, man. I'm so tired of being right, man. I'm trying to tell y'all what's gonna happen. Now, listen. You know, we gonna make sure that we respect and accept the fact that our sisters. First of all, I ain't seen none of the real sisters up there and during the situation, but our sisters, we love y'all, man. We don't want nothing happening to y'all. Don't let this situation that in some way we are in any way complicit in any kind of situation where our sisters are being disrespected. All right, we are not complicit in any of that shit right there. We don't play around with that shit. We are defenders of our families, especially our sisters. We defend them. We are not. We don't do that. I want you to understand that. That's one of the main things I wanted to get across this morning and what I've been talking about. But this situation wasn't. This particular situation was different. It wasn't that. Had it been that, then I would have come down on a whole nother side of the conversation. But because it wasn't, I had to keep it, I had to keep it 100. I mean, listen, when it comes to this thing right here, you got to give me for always keeping it 100. And even if you don't like what I say, I keep it 100. But when it came down to the situation, I knew that this wasn't how they were trying to frame it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that. And I'm glad I've been around. You know what I'm saying? So I know how shit works. I know how shit works.
This makes, you know what I'm saying? You got niggas
Yo, killer.
Like me, whatever reason.
I know how the situation works. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, let's go, yo. We'll talk about it in a minute. What's your Kimmy in here? What's going on?
A lot of niggas pop shit, and a lot of niggas don't make hits. But it's like this whole bad boy shit, we come to bring it to y'all niggas. Me, B.I., Pop.
And let me tell you something. I said it before. This wasn't somebody I was out with. I never went to none of the parties. You know what I'm saying?
And trick what, lace who? They ain't what make.
Wasn't around none of that. Wasn't around her. Stayed away. Stayed in my lane. You know what I'm saying? Mind my own business. But once you open up that floodgate, that means you opening up, you setting precedent to do anything to anybody.
Goes hope I lay, so I look both ways. Cop says okay, my 10 smoke grades, no way. Nigga leave it out, handing me my shit. Plans to get my land, them a 6. Niggas out of 10 don't understand this shit.
Once you open up that precedent, you set everybody up, and anybody who has anything that has been doing now, the government can come in and do what the fuck they want to do. No. Now, I'm not saying that I approve of anybody's lifestyle. As a matter of fact, whatever your lifestyle is, none of my business. None of what you do in your closed doors, none of my business. But when you start doing it like this from the government, they start to put you in a position where they can come do what the fuck they want to do to anybody. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on.
What y'all wanna do? Wanna be ballers, shot callers, brawlers.
Love you, sis.
Living in the Benz with the spoilers.
Love you so much. You know that.
Trying to get my hands on some grants like Horace. Yeah, living the raw deal.
Happy birthday, Kimmy.
Fettuccine bill, but still, everything's real in the field. And what you can't have now, leave when you will. But don't knock me for trying to bury 7 zeros over.
Go to YouTube where it's at. You know, that was her talk off YouTube. Let's go.
But I want to be heard on your hot 9-7 every day. That's my word.
Good morning, y'all. How y'all feel out there? Come to my sisters, black women. I am a defender of my black woman. I stand up for sisters. I'll stand up for him.
Vanilla butter pecan chocolate deluxe. Even caramel sundaes is getting cut. In my ice cream truck, stand it up.
No honey dip, summertime fine jury dripping. Seen you on pins with a bunch of tickets, how you clicking. I kept shooting strong no. We got close, rock roast, honey roast smelling like impulse. Your whole shell, baby's wicked like Nimrod. Hold me like a freshwater straw, or may I not be God? Attitude is very rude, boo. Crabby like seafood. Me on like fine, see you all rule. They call me sloppy love, wanna check the strategy, but ain't it? Shirley Temple on my jeans. Black Mrs. America, your name is Erica, right? True. Lazy apple, small V6 shoe. Come out complexion, black smelling like cinnamon. Me no harm. Turn around again. Goddamn, backyard's banging like a Benzie. If I were Jiggy, you'd be spotted like fuck me, kid.
It's a much bigger place. Let me say something to you. Don't think the play is what you think it is. It's a much bigger play. It's a play to take over and control something that was created and mastered by some of us. And they can't take it from us regularly because everything that was going on in this person's space was going on in other people's space. And yeah, let's go.
With the era, Gucci sweater, Louis leather, you was never, with groupies ever, a goofy. Only right you pull up in
they're not your friends, B.
Tierra remix, keep sipping on something like 3-6, keep the conflicts out of the pieces. There's no wrong way to rock when you're rolling with the rock.
Let's go.
Let's get it popped. Oh, we go shopping. We back on the top 10. We can afford things again. See, they too much effort. We too much better. It take them 2 months to do what we do, whatever. Hypno, crystal, I mean whatever. To rock on my so it do taste better.
Let's go.
I know what them girls like. I know it ain't easy. I know it ain't everything.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Know it. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
I've been here.
Crack to our own out the back of our homes. We smell the musk of the dusk and the crack of the dawn. We episodes too, like Attack of the Clones. What till we break a bag and you hear the crack of the bone.
Come on. Good morning, Kimmy.
Computer spirits stay mute while your ego spread rumors. We survivalists turn to consumers. Just to get by.
Come on.
Just to get by. Just to get by. Just to get by. You ask why some people gotta live in the trailer, cause like Stella in a picture with the pen like Norman Mailer. Me and Weller raised 3 daughters all by herself with no help. I think about the struggle and to find the strength of myself. These words, no. Like the jail cell in the south before my nigga Cornbell.
Good morning.
Just to get by, just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. Best stars in the red sky, the window of the red island.
They're about to free Pookie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Uncle was right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
This is mad, I get more butt ass ways. The fair one, I get mine the fast way. Ski mask way, and the ransom notes. Far from handsome, but damn a nigga so much. And roses shaking in their boots. A visible bully, like the roots disappear. Vamoose, you whack to me. Take them rhymes back to the fact that I see the gimmicks, the whack lyrics. The shit is depressing, pathetic. Please forget it. You're mad cause my style you're admiring. Mad, UPS is higher.
They want control of it. If those 3 charges would have came down guilty, the government would have taken all of his stuff, taken the entire empire, everything he built. They would have took it.
Slow, late into see the got my phone, say I got my phone. Sex all night, mad head in the moon. Spin my beat, smoke on my weed, tattoo on TT, saying B.I.G. Now check it, you wanna hear my man squeak?
Baby.
Don't you wanna give me what I need?
Baby.
Your life as my wife, just think. Full left, make fat exit, all links. Bracelets to match conversation.
Whatever you feel about the dude personally, the man working. Come on.
You can say you the one I trusted. Whatever you that you was spread like mustard. Shit got hot, you sent feds to my spot. Took me to court, tried to take all I got. Another intricate block. The bitch said I raped her. Damn.
And I'm still not going to no party. All right.
I know.
Good morning, y'all. How y'all feel out there? I'm to the building. Good morning, email. Summer edition, Mars and Venus. We talking about it today. Happy birthday, Kimmy. What's up?
All right. I know. I know what you is asking yourself.
And I'm still not going to no party.
Gonna ever fall off?
Hell no.
No. A lot of speculation. The monies I've made,
Speculating.
monies I've slayed.
Speculating.
How is he for real? Is that the
Is
really
he?
paid? Hustlers I've met, come with the wreck. Is it true he's seen a beat and slept with the position you hold? Can you really match a triple platinum artist buck by buck, but only your single going gold? Rockefellers you left fold, and you left out in the cold. Is it back to charge your mother 11 for a O? For the millionth time asking me questions like Wendy Williams harassing me. Nigga, that when I catch feelings, can I get a minute to breathe? And in that minute you leave,
Let me
while
finish
looking
this
at my
verse.
road, ice spinning on my sleeve.
It's so funny running into
Finish this work.
you. It has to be 3 years since we last seen each other. Many flashbacks come to mind of the wild and crazy times we used to have with one another. We absolutely didn't care.
We would do it anywhere.
Eye contact,
And it was over.
but that's when I was wild and out. I couldn't care less about it.
Happy birthday, Kimmy.
Didn't hurt. I put my share of dirt.
Morning, y'all. I'm feeling. I'm to the building. Morning emails, all you males and females. Get it poppin'. Let's go. Good morning, Will. What up, Twitch? What up, X? Twitter, whatever that is. Let's go. Yeah, good morning, y'all. I'm to the building. Summer edition special.
My man put me up for the share, 1/4 of a square, headed for Delaware with one change of gear. Nothing on my mind but the dimes that we blaze, with the glaze in my eye that we find when we crave dollars and cents. A fugitive with 2 attempts, Jake's had no trace of the face. Now they drew a print, though I'm innocent to prove. I'ma try to get filthy, purchase a club and start up a real.
Touch the mother hips, hands them down for my hips. What? Touch the mother hips,
Larry.
hands them down for my hips. What? Touch the mother hips.
Black Larry back. Let's go, Black Larry. Come on.
Touch the mother hips. What? Touch the mother hips, hands them down for my hips. What? Touch the mother hips, hands them down for my hips. What? The mother hips, I ride for my hips. I die for my hips.
Go to YouTube. Let's go, y'all.
Man, I'm down with no limit. I ride for the cause on the school. On the dick with the big dogs. And if anybody mess with Snoop Doggy Dogg, I'ma make his people put his name on the wall. And everywhere I go, I got Mr. Magic Cat. Because I know that boy don't care. He'll have that red stuff pouring out your ass. Any given time, anywhere.
Come on. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, emails, all you males and females. 6:08 in the morning. Happy birthday, Kimberly Robinson. Special edition for the position. Kimmy, come in whenever you're ready. Gonna claim it, husband. The man tried to keep the party going, that's all. Too close to the sun. Don't take your stuff, though.
Watch me get it. Watch me get it.
You know what it is.
Watch me get it.
No, that wasn't the first act. Got there late. It wasn't the first act. They had like 10 acts before MOP. They started early.
Come on, man.
I come from Bed-Stuy, but you can see the two of they go.
Well, actors always be having a little bit off information.
I come from Bed-Stuy.
Nah, there was like 10 acts before. Like you missed Fabulous, you missed Little Mo, you missed Uptown, you missed all that shit.
Someone murdered, nobody seen nobody.
Intro, all that. There's a lot of groups on there.
Service. We'll get at you, come through shining they at you, and broad daylight
And of course they
get clapped through. Police stay on us like tattoos. It's only grind
What
cause
they
we
do.
have to. Money is power. Swing. Come every hour. It's all about that dollar. And we no deal with cowards. We plan get devoured by the lion in the concrete jungle.
Yeah, you missed a lot, bro. Matter of fact, we had a conversation about that backstage when everybody go. They kept shifting the lineup, and they kept trying to push us back. And I was like, nah. And now, but you know, what ends up happening? You let too many acts go out ahead of you, and some of them don't be as good. They kill the crowd. So we wanted to come in and inject that energy into the crowd at that time, so that the rest of the day could follow that energy. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. But anyway, thanks to LL Rock the Bells, that whole staff, Rebecca, everybody, thank you. That was a great show. Prudential Center, Newark, what up? We love you. Pack House, and you know what? Let's go, y'all.
When I found out that you were leaving me, I couldn't sleep thinking about.
Yes, at the Rock Hotel.
Now all I want.
All the way in Atlantic City on August 17th. The famous will be there with DJ Cassidy. That's going to be a great show. Right after I finish my summer vacation, we'll be back to work by then. 4 days a week. I'm to the building. Let's go, y'all. I'm to the building. Let's get it poppin'.
Now that I'm on my own, I know that in time I'll find somebody. So I go on alone without you, but I still love you. You know I'll never live without you.
Good morning, y'all. How y'all feeling? Come on now, let's move out. Let's go. Somebody's life was saved yesterday. How about that? Good morning.
How can I love somebody else if I can't love myself enough to know when it's time to let go? Sing. All I really want, yeah. To be happy. Oh, yeah.
Let's go, y'all.
Hey. All I really want is to be happy. I wanna be happy. Yeah.
I know if I can hit once, I can hit twice, I hit the baddest chicks. Sure they don't believe me, they come with me tonight, and I show you magic. What? Magic. I got the magic stick. I'm a freak to the core. Get a dose once, you gon' want some more. My tongue touch your girl, your toes bound to curl. This exclusive stick, I don't share with the world. I had y'all up early in the morning. Proper the low stop. In the
See you later, buddy.
Get the position down back, then it's time to switch. I rock the boat, I work the middle, I speed it up, straight it up. And I ain't in the hood with my south look. I'm in the town, they working up a switch group. Tonight's the night, you gon' love, you can call your mama right now, tell her you met a dog. I pop it like, cause I can back it up. My left stroke's the death stroke.
I got the magic. Once I get twice, I get bad as shit. Sure you don't believe me, then come to me tonight.
Yeah, they definitely killed it. Redman and Treach. They live there. That's in their hometown. They should kill it in their hometown. Got the Redman. We love you, Redman. That show, I don't know, man. I bet you a lot of great shows. I put on some great.
Lambos with the same color wheels. No pain.
Shout out to everybody going to that Beyonce concert tonight.
Every time you touch me, I just melt away.
Look at my Kimmy. Look at my beautiful Kimberly Robinson. Clap your hands, y'all.
Bring the beat in.
Happy birthday, Kimmy.
Hey.
Kimmy the beautiful. That's my honey. Y'all can't mess with Kimmy. It's her birthday. And she on the morning chilling, glowing that way. And I'm playing Kimmy's gonna party today. Y'all better find out if she's giving that plum away. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Kimmy.
Bring the beat in.
Hey, good morning, Kimmy. Wow. What a day today. All on Kimmy's birthday.
Hey.
So, congratulations on your new show. I know how you get, so don't be too rough on them. Love you and good luck. Bye.
Love you too, monkey. Welcome to the Raw Perspective with your host, the incomparable Uncle Lays, a.k.a. Lays Elliott, a.k.a. Lazy Lays from the world famous.
Wow.
Kicking it with you in topics about health, politics, music, art, culture, and now for your host, the legendary Uncle Lays.
Hey, yo. What's up, y'all? It's your boy.
Hey, yo, Lays is rock. Yo, get in there and tell the people what it is, man. Let them know what this thing is all about.
Oh, come on, man.
Information.
That's what we do. Oh, my God. We do it in the summertime, too. Before I get Instagram in there, I just want to take a second and just pay some love to my beautiful co-host, Kimberly Robinson. I don't even know if y'all understand this journey. It has not and will not be. Get your balloon, Kim. I'm trying to be having an emotional moment with Kim. This journey could not and would not be the same without my beautiful Kimberly Robinson. The thing about it is, I went on this journey 5 years ago, and I was always trying to find somebody to be a part of this with me. And, it takes a lot. I'm a lot to deal with. I will be honest with you. Some of the toughest people in the world have had issues like we can't even threaten a nigga. This nigga's crazy. Let's go down then. Let's do it. Fuck it, everybody going. But some of the toughest niggas on earth, you're like, I can't even threaten them. The nigga not even scared of nothing. He just will go all the bigger the bully, the tougher he gets. It's crazy. Look.
Let's go, ladies. That's right.
A little midget walked by and slapped the shit out. Ain't do nothing. All of a sudden, the Incredible Hulk and Mike Tyson tried to jump and he fucked them both up. You know what I'm saying? Wow. You know what I'm saying? But, so we had to get somebody that's going to deal with me. And Kimberly gets on there and she gets me excited. She talks to the people. She's honest. She really speaks her mind. And she don't take no shit neither. Don't think that you're going to get on there and fuck with Kimberly and think that she going to take no shit. You know what I'm saying? She do not take no shit. She don't fuck around. And so for you to be with me another year and enjoying your birthday, sis, I just want to tell you how much I love you. and I don't even know how. I don't even feel right, this journey without my sister. And she is just amazing and beautiful and getting younger, going back in time here. That's just crazy. Which I understand how she does it, but she does it. She's out there. She's doing the Benjamin Button, going reverse in time and shit. So love you, sis, and happy birthday. Good morning, Kimberly. Happy birthday. What are you doing today?
First of all, you know how emotional I am, so hold up. Lays, thank you so much. Thank you. I love being on here. So I'm having a great time, and I appreciate you inviting me on to hang out with you in the mornings. I'm loving it. Thank you so much for the birthday shout out. Gooch Elliott, thank you so much. Toby, thank you, Toby.
Gooch.
All right.
Gooch, we
you
love
gotta
you.
send me a
Gooch.
gift, Toby.
Yeah, Toby.
Thank you
Toby,
guys.
you got
I
it.
appreciate
Also,
this.
Kimberly, so we did in the Elliott household, we did put together a little something for you. It's a destination gift. So there's a beautiful play in New York City, and Kimberly's gonna come up when her day she can come up, and she's gonna go see this play. Who are you gonna take? Are you gonna take Toby? You're gonna take Gooch? Or are you gonna take a friend from down there? You get 2 tickets.
We need to do a game. And then whoever wins.
A birthday date with Kim, and who's gonna win? Bring your friend. What's the tall girl name again?
Cherie.
Cherie. Bring Cherie. Let her come in and set it off in New York.
Listen. She would. I'm waiting for her. She's probably making me oysters Rockefeller today. Ooh.
Oysters Rockefeller, nice.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, she's gonna cook for you.
Yes.
Watch out, man.
I love when people cook for me. Come on.
I think Cherie might want to get in and put some. Oh, but I will cook for you. That's I am. Cherie thinks she's nice. I will battle her in cooking. I will whip her ass. I'm nice in cooking, so don't.
And
don't
you
even,
know what? I would sit right there and cheer both of you on. Go, go, go.
I'm sitting there going, flying. Shh. All you hear is shh. Shit be shaking. You know what I'm saying?
Woo.
You rocking that shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm like the second most famous hype man outside of Flavor Flav. So you are my woman. You are better than a hype woman. You are my inspiration. There you go. Hey.
So Kimmy, beyond that, and today's Mars and Venus. Yesterday, we got some news. Yesterday, it got crazy yesterday. And let me ask you a question. What is it that makes people want to go out in front of the court and throw baby off each other? What the fuck's going on with these? The weirdo level of weirdo shit has gone beyond normal. It's just a weirdo mountain out this motherfucker.
Lays, I think when you that was the most. Sorry, my mimosa.
Oh, you get it in. Okay, that's right. That's right. Get the shampoo. Take that. Get that.
There was nothing more monkeyish than
monkey
that.
Shit. That's some monkey shit. That was some monkey shit.
I was waiting on the monkey noises to come behind.
Yeah, that was. Hold on, wait. Monkey ass nigga. That's some monkey shit, yo. Real monkey shit. I'm telling you, that was fucked up. Why is you niggas out here putting baby oil on each other outside? Anyway,
the worst thing about it is that they made that. Like, they even said that on CNN. What kind of shit?
Yeah. You want to see it putting baby oil in. But let me just get to some of the points before I say anything. I want to reach out to all of my sisters that have been sexually harassed.
Ooh,
my sister. Yeah, and let them know how serious we take that. Sexual harassment and graping and all the other things that go with it is not, men and women are going through this, right?
Yeah.
It's not something that we condone, not something that we believe should happen. And there is definitely a place in hell for people who do that. All right.
Absolutely.
Be honest with you. The drugging, all the lifestyle, the commitment to that kind of behavior, that shit ain't cool.
Absolutely.
Around giving a person a drink and the drink is laced with some bullshit.
Ooh.
That is some ultimate sucker shit. That is what we feel. You know what I'm saying? From this space. You know what I'm saying? You give a nigga a drink and they got K1 in a horse tranquilizer in the ice.
Ooh.
And they're freezing the drug. All those practices is sucker shit. And quite honestly, people who do that should burn. All right, let me just say that. Now let's get to this case. We were the first ones when the brother got arrested to use the word free Pookie. We said free Pookie because what we saw wasn't that what we saw was a guy made a wig slip or made a wig slip. Hilarious. D Park. What we saw, we're gonna call D Park to him in a minute. What we saw was a guy that was hurting, that was probably getting high, that had a lot of money, was getting high, that was starting to spiral out, and he had nobody to bring him back. A guy living with his demons, trying to find a way to sort of pacify that demonic spirit that may have taken a little control of his life a little bit. And you know, when you have that demonic spirit, that demonic spirit gets in you. You're trying to find ways to pacify it. A lot of kids in the hood, because they're easy to prey on, that demonic spirit goes into them, and then they end up killing another kid and not figuring out a way to have a conversation and all that. The demonic spirit shows up in a whole lot of different ways. In this case, the demonic spirit showed up in this brother's lifestyle. That being said, that's not what this case was about. And I told y'all that. The judge went out of his way not to give him bail. When he first got in, he offered the guy $50 million when other Will's pills were having the same problems, even worse. You think about the Abercrombie and Fitch guys, and these guys were doing the same thing. There was no parity. It is only, I'm gonna say this respectfully, there is regular law and there is nigger law. Nigger law is a different law than the rest of the regular law. Because by the regular statutes, by the regular law, based on not only his wealth, not only his success, because the law is set to protect the rich from the poor. And it's also set to protect the Will's pills from the Negroes. All right? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm keeping it 100 today. This is Mars and Venus. All right? Based on the regular law, he should have been able to give $10 million and be on bail while they figured this shit out.
Yeah.
But they built the shit up so that he was such they made him like he was John fucking Gotti.
Yeah.
Well,
you know, your man called him the game John Gotti.
Right. Whatever. That's funny. They made him like he was Paul Castellano. That he was, you know what I'm saying? This was not Paul Castellano. This is just a dude spiraling out, getting high, having fun, freaking off, bugging. This is a hip hop Hugh Hefner. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Hugh Hefner. That's what this is. It's not Paul Castellano. This is Hugh fucking Hefner. This is Fredo from
his ass in jail too, though.
Well, he should have been. Well, I mean, the difference was what he would have been proven. He should have been in jail like R. Kelly is, because people and this is what the liberal media does. They throw out these comparisons to him and R. Kelly. Well, R. Kelly was convicted of SAing children. It's different.
Was it children?
Yeah, it was underage. That's what got him into it. The underage kid.
Oh, that's right, because the little girl.
Yeah, the minors. It was about the minors with R. Kelly. This was grown ass people doing grown shit at the time and having post-nut clarity. After it's over, after we break up, now I remember it this way. Now, listen, I am not out here. I am not out here devaluing the influence and the power of rich people over poor, older men over young, impressionable women. I'm not trying to say that. But I ain't see no real sisters in that courtroom testifying against him.
Not one.
Not one. And you think if that's what the pattern was, that was only he was only going after Will's pills and mongoloid looking? No. The Malaysian connections.
Well, Lace, he did seem to have a type for the
Malaysian monkey. You can take a Malaysian monkey and put long hair on it, nigga. What's up to you, niggas? Man? You hate yourself, don't you?
He did
Filipino
have,
monkeys.
He did have a particular type when it came to the freak offs. He had a particular type when it came to the freak offs. Maybe the aesthetic. It's in our mind that we believe that that's beautiful. She's 2 in the Philippines. When she get over here, she's fucking 15 over here. Like, oh, you kill yourself. But for these Philippines, the Puerto Ricans, and the Asian community, I'm just trying to tell you right now. Well, maybe it was just the aesthetics because he did. According to everyone else, the Carisha girl, Young Miami, and Kim. I don't know about Kim, but it seemed the darker hued women. He was having families with them and he was doing things with them. But the other women, he preferred them to for the aesthetics in the videos.
Okay, let's skip that. Okay. Anyway, so let's just say this is a dark guy that didn't like his darkness. Like cleaning up. This nigga's got to clean up. They got way too ashy. Yo, ashy ass.
We did find out something new. Like if you warm up the baby oil, it stays shiny longer.
Oh my God! Let me just say this to you. I'm glad he's not my. I've known him back in the days. I'm glad he's not my friend, because if he was my friend, he would have not done all this, because I would have clowned him. I didn't give a fuck how much money. I would have made so much. Nigga, what is you doing? I would have just made so much fun of the nigga. The nigga would have felt stupid. He was like, why? Niggas is putting on the Joker makeup. I'm going, nigga, you really gonna go outside and put that Joker makeup on and walk around doing that? You gonna do that? You gonna do that? Here's a picture of what the Joker. This is what you gonna look like. I'm gonna show a picture of the Joker, the old Joker, like from Batman in the 60s. Here's what you gonna look like. I'm gonna put the picture up. You gonna do that? Nigga be like, I feel stupid. Take the shit off me. Take the shit off. I'm not saying. I really want to get here. I want to. I'm not saying the lifestyle wasn't questionable. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it was his whack ass lifestyle. Like, it wasn't something that a regular person or even anybody of any kind of caliber would want to be involved in. You have to call a nigga like the Punisher to come hang out with you.
Yeah.
Hey him. You see the ears on that nigga? Like Dumbo. This nigga look like he got no mustache. You gotta call niggas with no mustache.
I watched him on CNN last night. He was on Laura Coates last night.
Ears are like Dumbo and shit. Big ass floppy ears and shit. Nigga, it's no way you could be cool. You look like a goddamn turtle. You cannot be hard rabbit. You look like a goddamn turtle. There's no way you could be cool.
Listen, right? apparently he's like the that. Coolest. He punished him on the court and he punished him in the bedroom. Come on now, Punisher. Yeah, I'm cool.
It's like a giant baby.
He got the magic stick.
So you were hanging with that baby with a grown man joint on you. That's your birthday present. I'm gonna send you the Punisher to your crib. I'm gonna hire the Punisher. What do you get, like $1,200? I send a Punisher right to your crib. Straighten you right out. Bust that plum wide open.
Hell nah, because I mean, he was
And then
doing
he'll
it. He was
spoon
doing
with
it
you
with
afterwards.
sores, with people with sores in their mouths.
Sores in
I
their
think
mouth.
not.
So for the judge found, as we knew, we said this, the jury found him innocent of all of those major counts, right? And Pookie, they found Pookie. We're gonna still stay with the Pookie. They found Pookie innocent of all the major counts. The big ones: racketeering, RICO. Those are the big counts that he found innocent of. What they found him guilty of is basically a 1 to 3 misdemeanor. What they're trying to lop on 10 years. There, we got to give him 10 years. No. This is a 1 to 3 misdemeanor. It's basically taking the girl across state lines and paying someone to have sex with her.
Yeah.
He wasn't paying her to have sex. You know?
No.
He was paying the guy to get involved, right? So it's 1 to 3. That's a time served thing. He should, and because the judge was embarrassed, because remember the prosecution did so much to build him up to be such a monster, right? To me, is more of a guy that do sucker shit, not a monster. You know what I'm saying? The difference between a monster. I'm from the hood. I know monsters, right? No, he wasn't a monster. He used to just do sucker. Like what he was doing is really just sucker shit that he was doing. Like, nigga, why is you doing that? That's sucker shit. Nasty, icky, nasty, terrible. Ugh, get out of here, nigga. You weird, fucking weirdo shit. This, in the hood, we got the weirdos and we got the real monsters. And sometimes the monsters and weirdos go together. You know what I'm saying? But this is a nigga sucker shit. weird, freaky, stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? That I don't really want to know about. I don't want to know Bashar do that. I don't know. Man, word is that's the face you make when you see the sucker shit he was doing. Word, nigga, you was doing what? Oh, damn, nigga. That is the. Yo, Keller, I could have told y'all. But I'm saying though, B, you could have said something earlier. You knew exactly what the fuck was going on. How come you ain't say nothing about it? Yo, Keller, I was feeling funny about it, and my glasses was getting weirder and weirder. So I I now have an eating disorder, so I just got enough money now. I can just buy bigger suits. Do me a favor, could you take that tablecloth off the dinner table and just make me a jacket?
Oh, damn. Not from the tablecloth.
I love Mason Cam. Mason Cam is the best fucking, they got no more sports, but they still the best show.
Sure. It's baseball season. Come on, baseball.
Baseball, nobody watching. Niggas don't watch baseball. You got to be Dominican to watch baseball, and nobody wants to watch the games. The Dominican guys are like turkeys. They're like turkeys. They taking steroids. They're doing anything. This 4-year-old kid taking steroids. Nigga, why is one arm big? Yo, Hector, little Pablo, what the fuck is going on with your fucking arm? You are 7. What is your arm? What the fuck are you, Popeye? What the fuck is going on? Like, the baseball is not a sport that black people should watch anymore. I'm telling you right now.
Well, is it okay that I still go to the games?
Go for it. Yeah, I mean, listen, Kim, you trying to get that plum worked on. Them big old dudes.
I am not.
They black. They don't believe they black, but they black. Anyway, so let's move forward. Anyway, Coco, please feel free to come this morning because, again, Gooch, as much as we love you, we appreciate your point. You were wrong. Coco, you were wrong as well. Coco,
yo,
are you?
We was letting Gooch like, oh well, Gooch. Well, yeah, Gooch. Well, Gooch is right.
All I thought about was Gooch and Coco.
Gooch and Coco. Yep.
All I thought about was Gooch and Coco. I was like, I know
them, though, because they made great arguments.
They should have been prosecutors.
Yes, they
again. The prosecution did a terrible job. They brought this is the fact that this is how much they don't know about our culture. They went after the wrong shit and the wrong people.
Yes.
That's the problem. The problem is the prosecution went after the wrong people. They did the wrong shit. And listen, I'm not saying that man ain't guilty of something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's not guilty of something. But if that was you hung your whole case on that. Of course you got your ass bit. Shout out to Xavier Donaldson, my boy. But now I can say his name. The lawyer extraordinaire. If you get in trouble, sometimes Xavier gets guys out of jail. I was like, yo, that nigga should be in jail. How'd you get him out? Some niggas get out of jail. You liked him now, you don't like him no more. We ain't gonna talk about, but come on, that nigga like 6'5".
Yeah.
I
mean, he towered over all the other lawyers.
Yeah. He's big, tall, black, strong looking lawyer. Yeah. You ain't fucking with that. I know there's problems at the ranch. That's all I'm trying to say. Happy birthday, Phil. It's funny as heck. And he could not come on here. No, but they had a great defense team. Yeah, but first of all, anybody could have poked holes in the story because the witnesses were suspect. The witnesses lacked credibility.
Yes, they did. Every one of them.
Right. You can't be saying that you were under duress and you call niggas yourself and having relationships with them. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. I mean, you can't. I'm not saying that he wasn't wrong for the shit that he did. But at what point are you hey,
Lays, Lays, I thought about it, and I think I shared this with you. The one girl, I'll refrain from her name. Well, you know what? It's over. Daphne Joy. Yes. That is 50's child's mother.
Poor 50.
My thing is, and no, it wasn't Daphne.
I don't know what I would do if that was my child's mother, because you can't control what your child mother do, but to have to, because you still got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Forever.
That's all. Let me tell you something. I got a lot of love for Fifth. Right, Fifth. I've always had a tremendous amount of respect and love for Descendant. I've gotten to know him personally over the years, so I know that he's a good man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know behind all of the y'all laugh at the trolling, I've been able to speak to him on multiple times in the past personally and just talk to him as a man. That is a solid man, individual. You know what I'm saying? And my heart goes out to him having to deal with that shit, because even after all this is over, he's still gonna have to deal with that, because that's still his kid's mother. That is so, I feel bad for that brother in that space. I mean, he's rich guy, successful, doing everything he's doing. That's what you saying? Oh, damn, you hardcore on your birthday. God damn, Kim. Take it easy.
Ladies, but I'm going to say this, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. If at any time, if someone had dangled me over a banister in a 17th floor hotel room, I'm going to remember the date. I'm going to remember what I had on, what you had on, who was there, what was done. I am not going to fuck that up. I am not going to get it wrong. And
let me tell you why you're wrong. Let me tell you why you're wrong. Can I tell you why you're wrong?
Huh?
I want to tell you why you're wrong. And not saying you wouldn't remember. I'm saying a lot of people, when you live that life and every day starts to collide together as one day, sometimes the details can get a little mixed up, in all fairness. Just want to be fair. Sometimes the details, because I remember shit. My man Horace got to come and tell me, you remember that day you did it? And now I would think it's another day. Remember, in this life.
Okay. Okay.
The life of an entertainer. There's so many different ways of trying to understand and remember shit. I don't remember a lot of shit.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you said that, because in that aspect, I can understand why she would kind of, get the dates wrong. But me, I think I would, outside of a drunken stupors for weeks in a row, I think I would remember the day somebody held me over a 17th story floor. I think I would remember.
You would remember the incident, but maybe not the date. Like, think about the date when Naomi Campbell called you ugly in Mike Tyson's house. What date was that?
I don't know.
The date?
It was the summertime.
There you go. Good morning, Coco.
Good morning. I was trying to hold it. Happy birthday, Kimmy. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to
Oh my
ya.
God. Yeah,
Happy birthday.
Yo, Coco. I was trying to give her a little birthday. I was trying to give her a little birthday leeway there, but she just kept digging. I was like, all right, well, let me just say this. Shit happened.
No, you forgot Kimmy, baby. Kimmy, baby. Kimmy.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Baby.
Kimmy, baby. Kimmy, you ain't making it. This Lindsay. I don't remember anything about anything. It's called culpable liability. Cognitive dissonance is a real thing.
Kimmy, baby. It's your birthday, Kimmy. Talk your shit, Kimmy.
Hi, this Lindsay. I just want to say that I want to wish Kimberly a happy birthday, and I wonder if I could be the date on her when she puts her ticket from Lay's to go see the play in New York. I just want to.
Yay! I would love Lindsay to be there. Return up.
Yes. So I heard my name.
Yes.
In this conversation.
Of course.
I heard my name yesterday. And what a time to be alive, isn't it, huh?
Yeah.
I like that guy ticket. You know what I'm saying? Because he messed up. He out of here. He going to jail. That guy ticket. Nigga, you was wrong.
That and Tisa and my girl Tisa tells he's out of here. Diddy is gone.
Oh, they jumped on Tisa immediately yesterday. Did you see the coverage of them jumping on Tisa?
I like Tisa. I didn't want to see it when it was
over.
over.
Girl with the curly hair. That her.
Yes.
The girl with the
yeah.
Yeah.
They jumped on her yesterday. Woo! She had security. She had to bring her own security.
I'm sure
they were on her ass. But why are they rubbing baby all on themselves?
Now I'll tell you what.
Armand Wiggins, he did that.
Now I'll tell you. A couple years ago, Tisa did a reading for me. She did a reading for me. Some of it came out. Yeah. And so I'm wondering why she didn't do a reading for this.
Well,
because that reading shit is bullshit. How about that?
They can't read themselves. They can only read you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you want to hear my take on it? Because
yes, please.
I
am chomping at the bit for Coco's take. Please give me your take on this.
Well, I mean, it started when that juror wanted to get some clarity on what the definition of distribution was, right? Remember?
Yes.
We found out that there was a little bit of contention with the jurors when it came down to the first count, right? That's the RICO charge. Right. Then it was a wild speculation like, well, if the RICO charge is in question, then what are the other charges going to be if they're not really unanimous on that charge, right? Because that set the precedent for everything. So now what I'm surmising, because he has been acquitted of the RICO and the sex trafficking, and now he is being, he's found guilty of, prostitution?
Yes.
I thought, this is what I thought. Because I'm thinking the jury didn't believe anybody that testified on that stand. They didn't believe it. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking of, if someone tells me, they go, oh, something happened to me. And I go, well, you went back. Why'd you go back? I'm with the victim versus volunteer argument in a certain sense. Like if you know that this is something that ain't for you, the moment you decide to say I'm doing it again, you don't become a victim anymore.
That's right.
You become a volunteer at this point.
That's right.
I think that's where the jury was at with that. I think what the jury did was show me the facts, show me the bank statements, show me that there's a trail between the money, paying the prostitutes, the airfare, the travel, the hotels. Give me all of everything in black and white, and that is something that we can say, yes, he did that. Outside of that, everything else was just testimony that they couldn't really put their finger on and say, okay, well, you've proven that. Other than the tape. The tape was the only thing that hotel tape where he put feet to ass.
That's
when
right. And he wasn't on trial for that.
Right. When he put feet to ass.
But I think that's it. That's it right there. I mean, I think you're right in that space. I mean, they're asking people to condone behavior that was voluntary in a lot of spaces. Voluntary behavior. You can't expect people. You can't then come back later like the Dream Hampton of the world, who's out there taking this whole thing to another level. Where same thing make you laugh. Like, how many times we gonna say it on this show
I
before
thought
anybody?
Dream Hampton was you guys' friend.
But she's the one that did the thing against Russell when she was the full. Like, you can't believe what I was doing. It is cool, and now no. What he's saying, you got to take responsibility for your own actions. I understand we have to hold powerful responsible for the things they do, but we also have to hold. If in order for us to say to you that as a woman, we respect your woman, your sovereignty as a woman, then you also have to be able to be responsible for the shit you do. Come on. Hold on for a second. This is not real. It's not quite Rico. It's not a Rico. It's not a Rico. It's not a Rico.
Listen.
It's not a Rico. All right.
Well, and I got two different streams of thought on this. Okay, there's two different streams of thought. Although the women in this particular case did not prove Rico for whatever reasons that they stayed, does not actually abdicate Puffy from the things that he's done to them.
I didn't even say that. That was, first of all, I believe the things were done. He should have some culpability for those things, but that's what you deal with in the lower courts. You get a man 6 months to a year or a year and a half in jail if he had to get in jail. If you want to find him guilty, give him first time offense, ankle monitor. I see this all the time. Order of protection, ankle monitor. He time served, send his ass home, and then put his name in the book so that when they know that there's a sex offender around. That's how you deal with it. We do this every day. Every day, B, they got these dudes out there that sex offenders. They have a list of sex offenders that are in the world that need to know who they are. They're not putting them in jail for life. To me, if you do something to a little girl, a little boy, they should be in jail for life, right? But they're not putting them in jail for life. They tagging them and bagging them and they put them back out on the street. Come on now.
So listen, here's what I mean. I'm a little disappointed in the whole trial. I mean, personally, because they raided his home. They took many terabytes of tapes. Everybody left the United States. They're thinking they're gonna get caught on tape. I'm thinking they're gonna show videos of Justin Bieber, Usher, Kim Kardashian. Fucking a monkey, something. I'm like, I want to see midgets. I want to see everything. I want to see all the fuck shit.
But they wife.
Yeah. Let me explain something to you. And I want to say it to you. This was a hit job that backfired.
Yeah.
The prosecution got their asses whipped. They got their asses whipped because this was a hit. This was a hit job. They put a hit out on them. Those people they're dealing with, they were connected with the CIA, and they brought the weight of the United States government down on this guy. And what I do like is that they had enough money to fight back. Most people don't have enough money to fight that. They got to cop out. They got to take a plea because if this Joe Schmo, he would have been found guilty. He'd have spent the rest of his life in jail. How many times happening? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is a dude that lives in his control world. This is his world now. He's living it. Whatever's going on in his world, he popping off in his world. If you go into his world, let's know the guy for 40 years almost. since like 38 years I've known this guy since he was a kid. I didn't have one thought about going to one of his parties.
Right.
If it wasn't the Mars 2112 or Powerhouse or Kilimanjaro or something like that we go to in the city where everybody goes to and has a nice party, I ain't never had no inference of going to a white party, and I never wanted to do any of that shit. That wasn't my energy. It wasn't my vibe. And I'm not saying I wasn't invited. I was invited a lot to these parties. I didn't want to go. It wasn't my energy. Didn't have anything against the brother. Like, oh, okay, all right. I used to see him in that little cabriolet rolling through when he was messing with Big. Yo, what up? Yo, what up, Big? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing good. I love what you're doing with Big, man. That's great, man. He gonna be all right, man. He gonna have a great career, man. I'm glad you got him off the block. We doing the same biz. We out there doing what we doing. We in the streets trying to grab people off the block to do what we can do. You know what I'm saying? That's the guy I remember. I don't remember the other person that they're paying in the news. And if that's the case, well then show me the 10-year-old boy that asshole looked like cauliflower. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Show me the little kid that happened to, and you got videos of him bugging and raping little kids and little whatever and raping women and doing crazy shit to them. No, this was consensual women.
You know, prior to the trial, it was all kinds of little kids. They were lining up saying this kid was there, this kid was there, this kid was there. They were lining them up.
And then they used the press. The government used the press.
Yeah.
To slam them. They use the media. Let me go here. I'm going to show you something. So let's go through some of the points. Basis. Here are the basis of the jury's decision to clear Diddy of the major charges. Lack of direct evidence. Despite dramatic accusations, there have been insufficient physical or forensic evidence, no DNA, no clear surveillance, no third-party confirmation linking Diddy to the crimes like Pookie to the crimes like trafficking, rape, or assault. There was none of that. None of that existed. All right. All that existed was the testimony of complicit people. Complicit today, not complicit tomorrow.
Last night, the Punisher said that maybe what happened was when the first time they spoke to him, the first time he went to the home to meet them, they did not say anything about sex. They were just talking to him. They didn't mention anything about money. It was just when she left, when he left, Cassie asked him, was he finished? Did he want to finish? And when he was, confused what that meant and he was leaving, she gave him the money.
Right,
so
exactly.
So nothing was actually said or written down.
Yeah. Unreliable or contradictory witnesses. If the accusers contradict themselves, they have credibility issues.
Right.
And if it was seen as financially motivated, the jury may have discounted testimony.
That's correct. That's correct. That's why they came up with that decision.
Settlements and admission of guilt. Cassie and others quickly settling quickly may have interpreted as strategic or financially motivated, not as confirmation of wrongdoing, especially since cases require a lower burden of proof. Meaning, if you cop to the civil case, do it because you want to get it out of there. You don't want to deal with it because the burden of proof is much lower in a civil case. Contextual interpretation video. The hotel video, while damning to the public, may not have been successfully reframed by the defense. Might have been successfully reframed by the defense, self-defense, intoxication, or pattern of non-behavior, or deemed not directly linked to the other broader charges, and clear proof of trafficking or RICO activity. Prosecution may have failed to show that Pookie operated a coordinated criminal enterprise. Of course, they failed because it's how you gonna have a RICO of one person?
That was another thing. They mentioned his assistant KK a lot of times, but they did not bring her up to
Right.
for questioning, which I found really, really weird. I don't know why they didn't bring her up, because that would have shown or corroborated conspiracy. They used her phone, but they did not bring her on the stand to actually testify,
Right.
which I thought was really, really weird.
Yeah.
I thought was really weird.
Another thing
Also,
that was weird.
reasonable. Let me just finish. Reasonable doubt is even if you suspect something is wrong, it is not the burden of the defense to prove guilt. It's the prosecutors that have to prove that he was guilty of the charges that they brought to the table. The charges that they brought to the table did not prove those charges. And I do believe that the trafficking, no, not the trafficking, the prostitution charges were throwaway charges. Like, we got to give them something.
Yeah,
because they had to give him something, because there's no way that you can find him guilty of prosecution without trafficking. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe because they were trying to say that he had a criminal enterprise. Maybe if they had raided bad boy offices, maybe if they had raided some of the business offices as opposed to his personal homes, they may have found something to help them with what they found in the homes.
Well, let me just jump in real quickly. This is the crux of the problem. The problem is that Bad Boy Enterprises was not a criminal enterprise. It was a legitimate business.
Right. Anyway,
it started as a legitimate business. It was never, and all of the businesses he had was never created for the purposes of criminal activity. Let's go with that. I think
before we move forward, I just want to pause for a second and say to all the victims of sexual harassment, raping, and all that stuff, our heart goes out to you, all our sisters that really go through this every single day. This was not that.
No.
I want to say this. This particular case was not that. I know that they're trying to link them together. They're trying to make it seem as if it's all one thing, but this is not that. This is a different scenario. And I'm not saying that this brother is innocent of his behavior. I think the behavior, to me personally, is reprehensible as a behavior, but I do believe it is in close context to what his reality was. And it's a world that if you go into that world, that's what happens in that world. And I'm not saying that those women weren't victimized in some kind of way. I would be remiss to say that. I'm saying to him, what they charged him with wasn't what is not. This is not Paul Castellano. This is not Paul Castellano. This is not John Gotti. This is a guy, a music guy, mogul, liquor, clothing guy, living in the streets. Yeah, doing goofy shit like I'm gonna burn this guy's car or whatever. I'm mad at him over my girl. He wasn't moving drugs. He wasn't moving women around. This isn't a cargo ship of barrels with little women in the barrels as he's moving around. That's what the RICO is for. Sex trafficking is for that, not a guy with a personal kink. That the government, you brought the entire weight of the U.S. government down on a guy for his personal kink.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, and here's the crux. You said something, and I want to just reiterate the fact.
Right.
It was to a degree, there was in a definition. Let's just go with this.
Yeah.
If the girl is voluntarily going along with him, like if she's going along with his kink or his fetish, to be a cuck, right? Because that's what he is. He's not a pimp. He's a cuck. So if he decides,
what the hell is that?
Yeah, he's a cuck. He's a cuck.
A cuck.
You want to get the definition?
The guy that like look.
I'll give you the definition. I'll give you the definition of it, but let me cook. So if she goes along with it, right? This is where it gets murky. If she goes along with it, for like a year or two, and maybe in these cases for Cassie 10, right? So if she goes along with it, and then one day she says, I don't want to do it no more, right? And then he puts feet to ass because according to the testimony, that's what he did. So he puts feet to ass. She is forced at this point now, she's beat up. She then decides that, okay, instead of running away and going, out of there, she decides at that moment, she lays down and she gets it done. That's where we kind of get the sex trafficking part, because at this point, she's believing in her mind that if I don't do this, he's going to beat my ass. So I have to do it, even though I don't want to. Right. That is where the sex trafficking comes in. That's because at this point,
same thing make you laugh, make you cry. At the end of the day,
right,
we have to give space for women that are victims of manipulation and all that kind of stuff. But also, we have to give space for women to be sovereign, meaning you have the right to make your own decisions. And if you are under pressure as a grown woman, you have a right to get up and call the police and have somebody come and save you from that situation. What this testimony and what we've learned is that she continued and actually was a complicit part of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And she lived that life freely of her own will.
Yeah.
Now, it may have been manipulation.
And she was able to leave. She was able to leave. She did leave.
To leave and live her life the way she wanted to live.
They proved that several times.
Yeah, right. She might have wanted it. She might have been afraid. She might have been, you know about Tina Turner, Ike and Tina Turner. Tina Wall, rest in peace to the Queen, was no shrinking violet. Okay? This wasn't shrinking violet. Okay? And so we can always go backwards and look at it and then use our post not clarity and be like, yo, it was crazy.
Monday morning quarterbacking.
Yeah, we can Monday morning. We wasn't in it, but at the end of the day, she was. And that is why we make decisions as adults. When a woman manipulates a man into having kids and all that stuff that he had to deal with, he made a decision to lay down with her.
Right.
So he better be responsible for them kids.
Yeah.
So you cannot subjectively use manipulation to account for culpability. You got to make, if you're going to be sovereign, then we have to make you responsible for your decisions. And if you decide to stay with a man that's treating you like that, then say, well, I was under some spell. You got to ask the question. Are we going to give you sovereignty, or are you just somebody that we're going to keep under our foot?
I want to just
let
me inject something, because it was really Daphne who brought it all to light for me, because there's a lot of women who want to emulate on social media that they're dating a rich guy, and this is what a rich guy does for me. I'm showing you all my bags and my lavish lifestyle, and you don't know what's going on in the back, what she's doing for all of those bags and all of those, those photos that she's presenting to the world that she's up. Everybody wants to be up, but they don't realize that she's getting pissed on. She's going to Dubai and they doing a doo-doo on her, just so that she can show social proof that she's getting bags. And that, to me, is where we have to show women now coming up the lesson about the dark side of trying to look or maintain an image because you want to be seen, you want to have social proof that you up. These women who were around Puff, they didn't, and even I don't know if it was Cassie or Daphne who said they didn't even like this nigga. They didn't like him. They thought he was ugly.
Wow.
But you know what? He had money. So they just decided that, you know what? If I'm going to be in this position, I'm going to do whatever I got to be. I got to do whatever I got to do.
Yeah. Well, Coco, a lot of women do that. They don't like the man. They just like what the man is presenting to them. And the man is so pressed to have this exotic woman, you know, that nobody else can get, that he's going to do that. And listen, I don't care what this man does for me. It is not enough to let him pee in my mouth or doo-doo on me. That
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Wait a minute.
Right. And you know what? I don't know where Lays went, but I'm gonna keep talking. But
yeah,
these women, I gotta tell you, when I look at social media and I see what's going on, I see, they got social proof. I'm thinking now with Jane Doe, she basically laid out what she did for it. And not only that, but she was doing it to compete with other chicks anyway.
That's
and
right.
She was like, why am I the only one laying down and effing 4 dudes a night and getting sores and all these STDs?
But you know what?
Yeah.
Carisha apparently was, I don't know if she was getting the same treatment, but she did.
Yeah, because she said she liked to get peed on.
Yeah, she said she liked to get peed on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But listen, so let me get a couple of people in here so they can start to add their perspective to this, because quite honestly, I really feel that I think the fact that the judge did not allow him to get out of jail, because in any other situation they would let him get out of jail, but the judge was embarrassed. I'm gonna be honest with you. The judge was embarrassed because they held him in jail for this big goofa conspiracy RICO shit, and he was found innocent. So the judge felt we got to keep him in jail now, just because the judge tried. He was pissed off because
he was pissed.
Which is telling
he
me
should be. And then Cassie came out and said she didn't want him to come out because she was scared he might come after her, but he hadn't seen
all
her
the witnesses
for 4 years.
No, all the witnesses wrote letters. All of them wrote letters.
All of them. Okay.
They not just Cassie. All of them.
Even Daphne.
No.
I was gonna say, because he's still paying her rent and stuff, so she's scared too.
No. Well, she's scared of being homeless. I'm sure that,
yeah.
But,
how you gonna be homeless when you have a child? When you have child support coming in for almost $8,000 a month?
50 should take that kid. He should take custody of that child. I can't believe he let.
You can't take a kid. You can't take the kid from the mother's for her sexual proclivity. You can't do that.
No, he should take the kid for the kid's own safety. What the hell?
She's unfit. She's unfit.
How did just because she like to get pissed on? She's unfit as a mother.
I mean, freak offs at times. Freak offs have gone on for 48, 72 hours. I mean, where's my son?
The quality of life. If she's getting,
top of the morning,
Reginald Maynard. Good morning. Hold on, guys.
Hey, Reggie.
Hey Kim. Happy birthday, Kim.
Thank you, Reginald.
But this is a special birthday, Kimberly, Mars, Venus. We want to take a second to just really let our hearts pour out to all the sisters that are suffering, that have suffered, that have been a part of, that have been essayed and raped and all the other things that happen, molested and all that kind of stuff to these people, because that's not what this is about. This is not about that. I want to be clear. I'm not taking a side, but I also speak from the side of the hip hop entertainer, not a mogul as they go, but as a guy who has been keeping his little bodega up for years and years and years and have had a life. And we start to talk about people that we know in the business. And when you see that post-nut clarity turn money grab, it can be really damaging to people. And when you see the entire U.S. government bring their weight down and lose, for the most part, then you know that this could have been a precedent that was set, that they could have came and snatched up anybody off anything. So, I just want to get your take on this, Reginald. I want to say how you been, my brother. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I got back from London, had a great trip, but late I was listening to you all morning. You're 100% correct. What you said earlier, if this had been Joe Blow, he'd have been gone day two. He wouldn't even gone to try. He'd have caved in,
right.
cut a deal. Pookie had enough resources to fight back.
Right.
I totally agree with you. Prosecution did not prepare. I mean, you know what I heard yesterday when I heard the decision? I heard everything that you and the morning email gurus have said of what's about to happen, especially on the RICO side. How are you going to RICO one guy? How do you RICO one guy? And then from a hood standpoint, they didn't understand, you know, how some flavors just like to play that way. I don't condone it. I've been invited to those things. I don't go either. That ain't my thing. But those who do, hey, each one, you know, that ain't my thing. But to the whole list and say that that's us as a people, that's also something I'm not going to stand for or categorically disagree, because we're better than that. We're above that nonsense, and it's unfortunate that this happened. It was a hit job, and it was a hit job on a lot of levels.
A lot of levels, a hit job, and then they want to put that man business on the street like that, which I think is, which is crazy that you put that man business on the street, because it's not that we condone it. It's just, it's disgusting.
Right.
I don't want to hear about that man business.
That's right. It wasn't our business to hear that.
Coco want to hear a little shum, but you know, I ain't so inclined. I get a little nauseous.
Yeah, I love that fuck shit. Let's go.
Hey man, that's cool.
You know, Coco. Yeah,
well,
that's cool.
But you know what? You know what? Hey, listen. Yo, listen. I gotta tell you,
we expect each other as we talk.
Yo, check this out. I mean, this is over. I mean, this part is over. We're gonna wait for the sentencing. But even still, with this part being over,
they saved this man's life. First of all, the lawyers, Xavier Donaldson, all the lawyers, they saved this man's life because this man lost the rest of his life to this thing, and maybe he's got his own demons. He's gonna have to deal with his shit. I mean, this doesn't go away for him, right? He's convicted of a federal crime for the rest of his life. This is a life that he's gonna have to live. At least he's not gonna spend 30 years in jail for the rest of his life, so
but ladies, not only
his
that,
children, which Rosina makes the point, his children.
I was going to say, not only that, he has 4 young girls to raise after hearing all that they heard about him. He has to raise his daughters now.
And it ain't even over yet.
No, it's not over yet.
It's not over yet.
There's more stuff coming.
It's more stuff coming down the pipeline.
Over 70 civil trials. Cases. Hold on a second. Good morning, my dear.
Man, you got him choked up this morning, pretty lady.
Duchess of Harmony herself.
Good morning.
I love the new hair.
Yes.
Duchess. They be trying to switch up one. They be trying to jump on your hairstyle. You got to switch up.
Sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas.
That's right. I just want to take a second and say happy birthday to my Kimmy. I hope that you are just having the time of your life just right now and this whole day. And I also want to say how much I miss you, because we manage this energy together. You do what you do in the morning to make the rest of my life a little bit easier. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate and I'm ready for this to come back full circle.
I do have a lot of energy in the morning since I'm not doing the morning show. So, it's crazy. My morning energy is extra crazy in the morning. I'm telling you.
It's real. I was sitting just having tea yesterday morning. We were just sitting on the couch. He wasn't saying anything. And I just go, why do I feel so much intensity? And then he was like, brrr. I was like, okay. No, I know. Okay.
It's a beautiful thing, though.
Listen, life would be a whole lot less interesting, a whole lot more boring without him. And so, I can't front, but back to you, Kim. What are your plans for today? I would love to know. I don't know if y'all talked about it already.
Today, Deandra, right after I get off with you guys, I'm taking this off. I'm going to the gym.
All right, now.
Yes, I'm going to the gym. And then from that point on, I'm going to eat all the high cholesterol food that I yes. Ocean air,
Talk your
egg
shit.
casting. I'm doing it all. And
Kimmy.
then tomorrow, Beyonce.
Hey.
Whoa.
She gonna see Beyonce today. That's nice.
Kim, I just have to ask you, how much all are you going to do?
Let me tell you, I'm doing it all except for that.
Keep it right, keep it tight, Kim.
That's right. I'm keeping it right and tight.
Yes. So good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Reggie. What you say, Reggie? Reginald Maynard's on this morning, babe.
Okay. Yes. Can't
Yes.
hear.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. I thought Reggie was saying something. Babe. So you've been listening a little bit of this. You know, we tread a lot on this subject because it is such a personal for women who go through this, right? So being a guy that does a show that has I have multiple sisters on the show. I got Kimmy, I got the love of my life, the Duchess herself, and I have other women that are in here that we have to discern and be able to, like a scalpel, separate some of the conversation, because what ends up happening is this is what we call this a special Mars and Venus, you know, because what ends up happening is people cross collateralize. They try to smooth it all over and throw it in a big barrel without calling it for what it is. So we can look at this situation and have opinions about the system of oppression in the United States, where there is the Wills pills and Negro laws that we have to deal with, right? Not the same law, right? We can say that and also say we're going to hold you accountable for your behavior, and also have enough discernment to say your personal behavior is between you and God, not you and me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get your take on all of this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Reggie. Thank you, Reggie. Reginald Maynard. We love the OG, Reggie. Reginald Maynard. We love you, Reggie. Thank you. Reggie's back in the chat. Go ahead, baby.
Yes, so I do think this is multi-layered. First and foremost, I would like to say no one deserves to go to prison for something that they didn't do, regardless of everything else. And that's what I feel has come out in this. And that, to me, I'm not championing him personally or praising his behavior, but I do believe that justice was served in that sense, that he does not deserve to be in prison for something that he's not doing, whether or not he
was charged for and that they did not prove. Is that, could we say that?
Right. The racketeering, the RICO charges, and all of that, and really just sensationalizing this, because if we look at the history of our country, even just over the last 30 years, what we do every so often is prop up a Black man who is successful and then throw darts at him and tear him down. How many times are we going to watch this story play out and all buy into it? We also fed this story with our own energy, focusing on it. And just as much, the larger population wanted to devour this because it makes them feel good on some level to see a Black man be torn down. And I hate that that's the reality, but it is. That being said, the things that he did with the women that he was doing his thing with, now, yes, I personally have some very deep emotions about that, because I do think a lot of them were really young, very impressionable, very vulnerable. And to say that a young girl in her early 20s can really even have a clear idea of what she's doing in front of that kind of power, that's really unfair to her, especially he's, 20 years older than these women and stuff. So that part being said, yes, there was a mix of addiction, a mix of power plays, a mix of financial resources being weaponized against people, or at least dangled in their face like a carrot. And all of these things went into the freak off. Like it doesn't happen in a vacuum. They're not just going to have fun. There's power plays involved. There's feelings of dominance and control and a lust for power that's happening in all of this. So that being said, it is not the same thing as a woman going to work every day and being harassed by her boss, just trying to do her job. To me, those are different conversations. You know, it's not this.
Let me ask you a question. How much culpability in this conversation would you uh, 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 assign to the women in this space?
Well, that's it's a difficult question to ask because at the onset, as I said, as a really young person being very impressionable, there are things that these girls may have done that 20 years from now they wouldn't have even been caught in that room to make those decisions. But that being said, there's also an element of being caught up in a lifestyle because once you get into something and now your survival, or at least in your mind and heart, your survival depends on it, you might find yourself doing things that you would later regret, but you mix drugs into that. And the power play that's happening, you can't really hold a person accountable to the clarity that they would have if the circumstances were different. But they did ultimately make the decision to stay. And that's where I draw the line because I feel like some of this was, you know, when we look at the salaciousness of R. Kelly and everything that went on with him, and you and I have talked about this, sweetheart, is that he was dealing with children. Things were, and parents were complicit in it, and all of that was happening. These are not people who are capable of making adult decisions. They're children. But then you switch it, and what's a few years difference? What's the difference between a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old? Is it really that huge of a difference?
Not much.
Life experience. It just may not be. And so thank you, Tanya. You're absolutely right. So we have to kind of take that into consideration before we start demanding these women to take full accountability for something that they weren't fully complicit in because their awareness was not as fully developed as it needed to be.
You said something about only the, and I'm gonna let Coco jump in for a second, but you said something about the women's culpability based on their clarity because of the drugs. Can we, and I'm speaking for the men, can we say that this guy on drugs is not using his right mind as well? And how much of a big deal does the drug play sort of have in this particular scenario?
I think it's huge. I think it weighs on both sides. Absolutely. I'm sure. I have no doubt in my mind that there are things that he did when he was high that he wouldn't have done when he wasn't high. That's part of the reason people get high, is so that they can experience these things that their, normal senses would tell them, no, that's not appropriate. So that all needs to be taken into consideration. It doesn't make it right what was done, but it also provides context. And this is why we have the law written the way that we do. Intent does matter. What's the difference between first degree murder and manslaughter? Intent. And so you have to look at all those factors and not just take an iron rail and say, this is what needed to happen, this is what should have happened. Yes, okay, fine. In an ideal world where everybody's in their right frame of mind and not abusing drugs, not on any kind of mind altering substances, would have probably made different choices. But is everybody ultimately going to have to step up and say, I'm accountable for the decisions that I made? At the end of the day, yes, because how else do you move on with your life?
That's right.
Stay right there, Duchess. Do not leave. I have a big question for you in a second. We love our Duchess. This is the Duchess of Harmony herself, my better half. And yes, I am working on me. But anyway, let me just say this. Cole, jump there and let us know how you feel about all of this conversation at this point, Coco.
Well, outside of the trial, I look at the totality of our experience with Puff. And I got to tell you, this is not his first brush with the law. Yeah, Pookie. This is not Pookie's first brush with the law. The first time I, even was aware of, any type of proclivity as far as Pookie's concerned, well, as far as like legal, is, the City College event. He dodged that. He dodged that with, I don't know how he was able to do that. He dodged that. And from there, I think his ego got a little bit bigger because he was able to get away with stuff. He knew at that point strings could be pulled and he could get out scot-free from all of the scrutiny behind that particular incident. Then the second one was the Shine incident where Shine actually, he bit 10 years. He ate it. He ate 10 years knowing that, he was there with, and someone testified that Pookie shot them in the face, but yet and still he was able to maneuver out of that and have Shine eat 10 years for that. Now we come up to this point where now not only does he feel like he can skirt the law, he's unstoppable at this point because now he has the money and the legal prowess to actually get him out of situations. This particular case that we're looking at right now, I think at this point, they were trying to put the screws and the brakes to this dude, but yet again, slippery Pookie, that baby old magic worked again. I think he was able to slip and slide, through the legal system. So
let me jump in and say this. I get what you're saying, and like I said, I don't know much about any of those cases. All I can tell you is that the rich and powerful always are able to skate and use the law to do and on their side. There's a lot of rich and powerful people that get off of a lot of different situations. When I studied this case, as much, like I don't have any, first of all, I don't know the guy, so I don't really have that much. I can only listen to his music and all that other stuff. The Shine situation, the City College situation, all those very separate situations, he was able to get. This particular situation, I do believe that the prosecution tried to convict him and they used wrong evidence if they were going to convict him. And they tried to they overcharged him with RICO. This should not have been a federal case. I do believe if there was a domestic violence charge and all the other stuff on the state level, even federal, they probably would have gotten a conviction and they would have dealt with it from that perspective because the evidence sort of speaks to more domestic violence and that kind of thing, which happens all the time. I didn't think that this was he wasn't trying to get money off the stuff. He wasn't using a criminal enterprise to make money. He was trying to just bug out and live his life, which was weird and kinky and weird. Not that I agree with it, but I am smart enough to know that ain't my business. What a man do in his bedroom is, as long as nobody's dying in his bedroom, then it's not the people versus you when somebody's dying. When it's her versus you, and that's a domestic violence charge that you got to deal with in court, which I believe in this. And I know there are women on the stairs, but I believe that I do respect the sovereignty of women. I do respect the fact that if you're a woman and you're sovereign, you have the right and the ability. You should walk away from any situation that you feel unsafe in. And I believe that these women did not walk away. And I do believe that these women in some way had their own ulterior motive, whether it be riches or fame or whatever the case may be. That's their opinion. That's what they did. And I'm not saying that he wasn't wrong. I'm saying that he wasn't wrong by himself. They were all culpable in that space. And I do believe, and the jury was able to see through it. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah. And I think too, also the crux of it too, that made them unreliable was a lot of witnesses that were on the stand said, like Capricorn Clark, for example, they were like, well, why did you want to go back? Even though you've been fired, why did you want to go back? She's like, well, what else do I have? What else do I have? I have to go back, beg the guy to go back. And not only
don't be mad. UPS is hiring. You know what I'm
saying? There's always work at the post office.
I mean, what do you want? Same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. You want to go work. You want that kind of lifestyle, and you go back into it. There are rooms in hell that are very really enticing that you can go. I need to go in that room in hell. No, maybe the heaven might be boring. You have free will to decide whether or not you want to be a part of that. That's a specious argument.
You can't sell your soul. You can't sell your soul and then claim redemption when things don't go your way. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it.
Kimberly, how you feel about this, Kimberly? Go ahead, Kimberly.
1-800-799-SAFE. If you feel, or 911, any women or men out there that feels like they're being, I don't want to say taken advantage of, but they're being held against their will. Things are happening. They're scared to make a move. Don't call your friends, call 911. It's safer. In the end, you know, the man who's actually doing this may be prosecuted if you did that. I wouldn't suggest trying to go back, because you know you'll be homeless if you don't go back. I mean, listen, I will share this on my birthday. I will share this. I told you guys before, I was in an abusive relationship when, and mine wasn't anywhere near what this lady, any of these ladies gone through, nothing near that. After 2 years, I left because as it started happening, of course, you have to recognize the cycle as it's happening. Once you recognize the cycle, you have to make a decision whether you're in your right mind or not. You have to make some sort of decision. My decision was to get the hell out of there. I don't know what would have happened to me had I stayed. I did everything. I went into a safe house. I went to my grandmother's house. I went to some friend's house that he didn't know. I did every and anything I could in my right mind, and I was 24 years old. So I read Tanya's line there. She's right. 25 years old is when your mind is fully developed. I was 24 years old and in a relationship that was crazy. And so I made a decision, get the hell out of there. And from that, I had to look at myself. What made me stay, even though it was 2 years? What made me stay as long as I did? And I had to look at myself to make sure that these patterns didn't happen with me again. So 1-800-799-SAFE or 911 to anybody that finds themselves in situations where they can't control.
All right. So Duchess, before we leave and before you go, I need to say, and one of the things we talk about, Duchess, is healing. Thank you, Kim. That's real. And we are hoping that you'll continue to heal. We love you, and we hope you're continuing to heal from your situation. That's why she's so freakishly strong. But let me just say this something. Speaking of healing.
And the heat from the GAT is real.
I know that. How does Pookie and his family, and how does we as a collective heal from this very, very challenging and very polarizing conversation?
Well, that's a big question. I think the first step is to stop pointing fingers at each other in condemnation. And if we can do that, and I don't mean to excuse behavior, but when you sit with someone and your entire opinion about this person is they're wrong, they're evil, they're bad, there's nowhere they can go from that. And so it happens within our own families and our communities. This is just happening on a global scale, really, because the whole world was paying attention to this to some degree. But within our families, that's where we start. We stop with the judgment so hard on each other, and we start to actually step into the other person's shoes and give grace and humble ourselves enough to say, all right, I don't agree with that. I don't like how that worked, but I can't kick you off the planet and pretend like you didn't exist. Because for every Pookie, there are many unnamed people in power who are abusing their power, who never come on this global stage, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. That's not going to go away, but it's our personal accountability to one another and our ability to hold space for each other and to look at the context of a person without judgment and to actually accept that person. And it's hard to do because a lot of people feel like, I can't accept this person. I can't forgive what they did. You don't know what they did to me. Okay, I get it. But as long as you remain in that consciousness, which unfortunately is a victim consciousness, it's not to say that people have not been victimized, but to have a victim consciousness says, I'm not forgiving anybody because this is what they did to me. I'm sorry to break it down like this.
I hurt somebody because somebody hurt me, which happens a lot too. A lot of times hurt people hurt other people too. So that's definitely a big thing.
It's a big thing. And yet, at the same time, when you're choosing not to forgive, it is truly like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. You are only
Yeah.
punishing yourself. And by that self inflicted punishment, you can't help but to punish the people around you that are close to you. You
Yeah.
can't help but to project that anger and pain. And that's what's happening. Even as I see, on social media, especially between Black men and Black women, there's just this constant projecting onto one another because I've been hurt. Well, I've been hurt too. Well, if you wouldn't have did this and my daddy did that and my mom didn't do. Okay, can we lay our weapons down and say, okay, right now you are not my enemy. You are not my enemy and I am not yours. And yes, things happen to me, but I'm dealing with that through my own love and acceptance of myself. No, I didn't deserve that. No, that person wasn't right for doing it to me. But it's only happening now in my mind. The past only exists in your mind to the degree that you keep going over it and over it again. The future, the anxiety that you might feel, the uncertainty, it only exists because you keep worrying about it. But when you come back to right now, I'm not your enemy and you're not mine. And can we just be human and present with each other and recognize nobody is perfect? We all have shadows that we are trying to work through.
Lace, can I just say one last thing? Because I
Yes.
know that there's a lot of lessons that we can learn from this particular trial. I think for Pookie, I think for him to sit down for a second and reevaluate all of the things that he has done in his life right now where he is, because he cannot move, he cannot have the freedom to go anywhere right now. I think that if he can just take the time to actually go into himself, I hope he has. I hope he has taken a time while he's sitting down in one spot, in this particular situation, and actually ask for forgiveness or ask for healing at this time and come out a better person. I think that's what we all wish for at this particular time, because at this moment right now, there's nothing he can do. Right now, his hands are tied. I think he has all the time in the world to sit and reflect on all the things that he has done, and he has atoned for it, so that he can come out.
Healing and forgiveness is not a marketing campaign; it's a personal thing. And I think if that happens, then that more power to the brother and more power to the people, because there are children, there are families, and at the end of the day, people are looking at him, and families are looking at him. Not just we're connected in ways differently to the business, but there are just the average Joe Schmo that's looking at this and that is actually paying hard attention to this, and they've families for the most part that are affected by this news and are affected by this programming. So yes, this whole healing and forgiveness is more than just a marketing campaign and more of of something that we all are willing to take a step to. Very, very good, Coco. Kimberly, before we go, birthday girl, my girl, Kimberly Robinson, the beautiful, the illustrious, the freakishly strong, the massage therapist, not masseuse, Kimberly Robinson.
Hey, come on.
Yes.
Hey, thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. Love, I appreciate everybody. Glaze the MC, I saw you. Reginald, Gooch Elliott, I saw AB, I saw everybody. My baby sister Regina is on the line. I appreciate you guys. Coco for bringing the energy to me. Lays, no, Deandra, thank you very much. Lays, that was beautiful. Listen, I think I said you were emotionless one day, but I take that back. Thank you very much.
And yes, enjoy yourself at the Beyonce concert. Get your cowboy hat, do your thing, have fun.
Don't be surprised if you see me up there. Hey, come on, let's go.
Don't do that. Don't do a little more. Don't do a little more, okay? And Duchess, before we leave, I got one question for you. Are you tired of him yet? I just want to know. Are you kind
My life is so fulfilled with him. That's my answer.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, we're going back on hiatus. All right, guys. So we're going to enjoy the rest of our summer. We see y'all in August, or we might pop in another week or so. I got a 50-50 that they're going to let them get some bail. I think they go back to the judge and the attorneys are going to let me get some bail. I wanted to get Xavier on here, but as we spoke about it, it is inappropriate right now for me to get Mr. Donaldson on here. So but maybe after it's all over, when he writes his book or whatever, when they write their book or whatever, I can get him on here and do an interview and talk to you guys. But anyway, and continue enjoying your summer. See y'all. And let me tell you something. Healing is a real thing. We are not perfect. Let's accept the fact that we are not perfect. And let's just try to get better every single day. Happy birthday, Kim. We love y'all. Have a great summer. Continue, guys. And have a great 4th of July. Shut up. Big set.
Big set.
Listen, when a man still has dimples, there's something wrong. I just want to let you know right now.
We love said dimples.
That's weird and it's wrong. Especially when guys have dimples. It's weird. Y'all have a great day. No baby oil, please. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.